are out.
Oh, yeah.
97.3. Come on. Let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amado. Tonight, I'm here with
Eno Safo.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
Organized labor has decided to call off the strike. All workers are requested to resume work on Tuesday, 16 July 2024. We are giving SSNIT 1 month to engage organized labor.
Organized labor calls off nationwide strike, which was called to protest the sale of 4 hotels belonging to SSNIT. We'll find out what the next plan of action is. Also coming up, the new LI before Parliament, which will have MPs exempt from observing speed limits, has got many people talking in the country. And later, on Eyewitness News, 13 persons arrested for failing and developing the land along the Teshi military shooting range. The Greater Accra Regional Minister is very worried, and he has threatened and vowed to deal with that. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Government sets $250 million cap on pre-cutoff date disbursements.
That's in 50 minutes from the City Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations. In the Western region, we are on Adrian Power 100.7 FM in Takwa. We are in Takrady on Sky Power 93.5 FM and Beach 105.5 FM. We are in the Bono region on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. We are in Kumasi in the Ashanti region on Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM. In the Volta region, we are in Tajevu on Revival 99.3 FM as well as in Hohwe on VOV Radio 95.7 FM. In the Northern region, we are in Bimbila on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, we are on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In Upper West, we are in Jirapa on Jirapa 96.1 FM. And Tungsung 97.3 FM based in Wa. We are live on citynewsroom.com. That's our website. We are also on YouTube. You can find our Citi FM channel there. We are also interactive on Twitter, now known as X. Use the hashtag Eyewitness News when you send your message. My handle is at Omar Rusanda. You can also send your message to at Citi973. If you want to send a message to WhatsApp, the number is 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. Let's start off now with organized labor. It was a big story since last week when the Minister for Pensions went to Parliament and announced that the National Pensions Regulatory Authority had given the all-clear for SSNIT to proceed with its plans to offload 60% shares in the hotels that it owns, 100% ownership of some 4 hotels, to be sold to a private company, Rock City Hotel. That generated anger amongst the members of the union, mostly the labor unions, and they called a press conference on Friday and announced that they were going to embark on a strike starting today. Now, there was a quick action that was taken, first of all, the hotel, which was going to buy the shares in these 4 hotels, Rock City, announcing that it has withdrawn its bid in the agreement. And then SSNIT also subsequently issued a statement announcing that it had terminated the plan to sell off the shares that it has in these hotels to anybody at all who may be interested. Now, that was over the weekend. This morning, the strike that was called began to bite. Lots of hospitals were abandoned, schools were abandoned, all public sector offices where you would have these union workers engaging in decided not to come to work, or even if they did, they simply would not work. It was biting hard. But as of midday, there was an announcement by the organized labor that the strike had been called off. And of course, the calling off came with some specific demands that are expected from the state actors involved in this particular deal. Let's go on the phone line and speak to a member of the Trades Union Congress. The Director of Research and Policy at TUC is Dr. Kwabena Nyaku Otu. He's joining us on the line. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
Okay, so the announcement by SSNIT on Friday and the announcement by Rock City on Friday would have rendered your strike moot, which strike you had declared for today. But of course, because it was a weekend, you could not have met to decide whether you should call it off or not. So the logical thing people expected you to do was to call off the strike, which you have done today. But did you just call off the strike and said, everything is fine, let's go back, or there are some strings attached?
Yes, if you read the statement put out by organized labor, we still continue to register our displeasure, wasn't it? Not just over this attempted sale of the hotels, but with the way SSNIT has managed our workers' contributions so far. So the statement is clear that within the next 1 month, we are calling for serious engagement and dialogue to address a number of problems we have with SSNIT and its management of pension funds.
Which means that you're using this as a trigger to raise issues that you've had with SSNIT all these years.
Of course, not just as a trigger. Even before this issue came, as far back as 2022, organized labor, in fact, the TUC in particular, had called for a national dialogue on pension. It was in the communique issued after the labor conference in Korum Kwetia, incidentally at Rock City, that we should have a conference on pensions because there are many issues about pensions that we are not happy with. Of course, all those calls have fallen on deaf ears. So you are right in saying that, yes, we now have a trigger. And the trigger is this issue, which then we want to use it to address all those other issues related to pension.
I see. Okay, so do you want to share with us what other areas of SSNIT's operations you are not happy with as owners of SSNIT, to put it more loosely?
The bottom line is that you can go into high-flying issues and everything, but the bottom line is that we have in Ghana today pensioners retiring with less than 500 Ghana cedis as monthly pension. And if you live in Accra, Dansoman, or Kaneshi today as a pensioner, as a teacher, a retired teacher or a retired nurse, and your pension is 500 Ghana cedis, what exactly will you do with that kind of pension? So this low pension has resulted from a number of issues, some related to law, some related to the fact that our pension funds are not being effectively invested. We are not getting the returns that we are supposed to be getting. Okay. So, and all of that has to do with the fact that we are not too sure how those we have entrusted pension funds to are actually managing those funds to the benefit of Ghanaian workers. So we know that SSNIT says that the hotels are not doing well. We know that that is not the only investment of SSNIT that isn't doing well. We know there are many high-rise buildings SSNIT owns today that are empty, built with hundreds of millions of dollars of workers' money, but they are essentially empty. They are not generating any returns. We know that overall, SSNIT investments are generating returns far below the risk-free rate of treasury bills, when in fact they could just have bought treasury bills and get something higher. We know from the ILO report that ILO asked SSNIT to undertake, to put forward an investment, a funding policy as far back as 2014. Just a funding policy. They have still not been able to do that. We know from the ILO report that SSNIT investment reserves will dry up by 2036. And all the things ILO has asked SSNIT to do since 2011, they have refused to do them. All of these issues are things that we need to address in this 1 month window.
I see. Doc, on the issue of how much people are paid as pensions, and you said that less than 500, based on a casual look at SSNIT, you would realize that what you put in is what you get out of it. So if your salary was low at the end of the retirement period, you'll be receiving a low amount, because there are people who are earning over 100,000, over 500,000, 900,000 even cedis monthly, and this would be the top contributor. So if your contributions are low, you earn less. Instead of fighting SSNIT, which is only working with what it receives, why don't you fight with the employer who pays less, and which best 3 years result in the less than 500 cedis payment at the end of the pension period or the retirement?
So it's not necessarily true that it's exactly what you put in that you get. SSNIT is a social security scheme based on an insurance and also solidarity principles. And that if you are able to invest the pension funds well and generate enough returns, it becomes easier and possible for you to top up the incomes of those that are earning very low. Here we are, the SSNIT funds are not being properly invested, and we are not generating adequate returns to be able to do that. So it's not just a matter. Again, it's not just a matter of people earning low. Again, there are technical issues around some of these issues. If you look into the ILO valuation report, here we are in this country where people pay pension contributions on their basic pay, excluding all other allowances. The ILO since 2014 has recommended SSNIT to dialogue with the stakeholders to see the possibility of pension contributions being paid on the consolidated pay, not on the basic pay alone. But SSNIT hasn't done anything about it. Of course, from Labour side, we will be wary to do that, to give more money to SSNIT, when we aren't too sure how prudent they are actually using the little money they have now. The point is that there are serious discussions SSNIT can have with its partners to be able to increase pension payout, to be able to improve the retirement income security of pensioners. But it looks to us that those people at the helm of affairs are not interested. They have their own pets, they receive their own salaries, high ones. So they're actually not thinking about the ordinary Ghanaian worker who is struggling, even whilst in work, and will surely struggle on retirement.
I have sat in conferences where SSNIT has done a comparative analysis where it said that being on SSNIT is way better than being on any investment, treasury bill investment. They have done the calculation and they said the numbers support their position. You are saying that this is a contrary position you hold?
It's not me saying it. I'm just telling you that people are receiving 500 Ghana cedis less as pension, as their pension after 20, 30, 35 years. Is that something SSNIT itself is proud of? Is that something they want us to celebrate as an achievement? I don't think so. So those calculations and those things, today, Omaro, just imagine that SSNIT contributions were not compulsory. Just imagine how many people will voluntarily give contributions to SSNIT, given all that we know, and given what they pay people when they retire.
Very well. So this 1 month window, what kind of conversations are going to be had? So is there going to be a conference of SSNIT contributors where everybody would come and then say whatever they feel like saying to SSNIT, or you have some talking points that you wish to meet SSNIT behind the scenes and talk to them about? What's going to happen over the next 1 month?
We surely have talking points. We surely have done a good analysis of all the 4 valuation reports that ILO has done since 2011. We know what the things they have uncovered. We know the recommendations they have made already in all these 4 valuation reports. We have also taken a hard look at the pension reform initiative, and we know areas that we could give a second thought to. Okay. So in this 1 month, we expect all the stakeholders to sit, including SSNIT, to be able to look at all the areas that are not really working well for pensions in this country, including unification of pensions. We have in this country a significant number of public sector workers that are not contributing to pension, but they earn better pension than those of us that contribute. This should not be the case. They don't contribute, but they get better pensions. Those that contribute get inferior pensions. So all these are issues that we need to tackle going forward. Of course, some of them will go beyond SSNIT.
This, your earlier call that you made, and I'm not sure if it was a TUC call or it was a call by some other offshoot of your union, asking for a shake-up of the managers or management of the institution and even the board. Is that a position that you hold strictly and you expect to see action on, or you are satisfied because of the withdrawal of the deal, you may not necessarily pursue that call that you made earlier?
So actually, organized labor did not make that call specifically. Some elements within organized labor brought it out. I think UTAC, in a statement, called for the dissolution of the board. But I must also admit that in our discussions, these things came up. But at least in the final statement that we issued today, we are calling for an engagement with the board, which means that there must be a board in place for you to go and do that engagement with it. But the outcome of that engagement could result in many things, including a restructuring of the board and the management of SSNIT and all that. That one, nobody can predetermine what the outcome will be.
So there's no call specifically from organized labor for the dissolution of the board and the dismissal of the managers. That is not a call that you have made, and it's not a call you are going to make.
As far as our public statements is concerned, we haven't made that call. But I'm telling you that UTAC, a member of organized labor, and some other elements have floated that idea.
But it's not an idea that you support as a union or as a collective.
I wouldn't say that I'll support or I don't support. We are going to have an engagement over the next 1 month. And I have said that the outcome of that engagement, nobody can predict. Nobody can predetermine that outcome. If after the engagement, it becomes necessary for some restructuring of SSNIT and other pension-related institutions, why not? We have to do that. All that we are seeking to do is that we want to put pensions and its management on a sound footing to ensure that truly our members will retire into a better, secured income security when they reach age 60.
Finally, Doc, what happens to the 4 hotels? SSNIT gives us the impression that they're not doing well. They will be running aground. Would you ever accept any plan to privatize them in any way, even if it's a 50-50 basis? or some capital injection from a private sector, even if it's on 40-60 basis, where the 40 being the private sector. Is that something you would agree to, or for you it is a no, you stick to the slogan of Ablakwa, hands off our hotels?
The idea that SSNIT and its management consistently tell us that those hotels are making losses, they can't do anything about those losses, is what for the perception that this management must go. Because really, we know other hotels in town, the moving pigs, the what do you call it, the Kempinskis, smaller hotels like moving pig, Mensvik and Rata hotels. We know they are all making good deals. What is it about those hotels? How has SSNIT staffed those hotels say that they are unable to make profit? We know that people are selling cocoa in this country and making profit. If you have La Palm Royal sitting at prime locations, consistently, they are fully booked and they are making losses. Somebody should explain to us what is it. And once we have come to a definite point where we know that really nothing can be done, then we will have a discussion. Today, we want to see why those hotels are not making profit. When all other hotels, big, medium-sized, and small hotels, are actually making profit.
Thank you.
We have a culture in this country where people deliberately run down state institutions, deliberately, and prepare them for privatization. That culture should end.
Thank you for speaking to us, sir.
You're most welcome.
That's Dr. Kwamna Nyaku Otu. He's Director of Research and Policy at the Trades Union Congress. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Earlier, we spoke to Labour analyst Austin Game, who urged the government to heed to calls for the dissolution of the board and management of SSNIT to restore public confidence in the institution. Let's listen to him.
The SSNIT management and the board and government combined failed to listen to the concerns being raised by organized labor and other contributors to SSNIT for far too long. And that has created a huge, if you like, vacuum of trust between the two parties. And therefore, justifiably, they took the decision. As of last Friday or so, or Thursday, the Minister of Employment and Labor Relations, who has an oversight responsibility for pensions, went to Parliament and publicly announced that the MPRA, which is the regulator of pensions, have approved the sales of the hotels and that it was going to go on. When you said so, and then 2 days fast forward, because of the pressure of organized labor, you said you have withdrawn the bid, you have also cancelled the sales and so forth and so on. It does not sound, palatable in the ears. And on top of that, you have the same management in place, you have the same board in place. So some kind of step will have to be taken to ensure that there's a clean kind of, opportunity for them to dismantle the things properly. Hence, I think they continue to be say that they are going on strike. So I think that's just simply the reason. If they can show evidence of true patriotism as management people who are responsible for, the monies that they are holding in trust. It's not government money. State money is not government money. SSNIT properties are not government properties. They are the properties of the contributors to the scheme, and they are holding it in trust for the people. And SSNIT workers are employees, if you like, or workers of the contributors, not government. Government does not It's not the one who employ the people. They are not the people paying them. We don't pay SSNIT workers with government taxes. That's the point.
What do you suggest the way forward should be?
Well, I've said this to more than a month ago. They didn't listen. We don't need SSNIT board composition the way it is now. We need to have representatives who are mindful and have the capability of ensuring that strategic decisions are made about the investments and also police the return on the investments to ensure that people who retire benefit from the reason why they have contributed in the first place. And it should be clearly understood that the money, every peswa that is sent to SSNIT belong to the contributors and not government. It's very important. So if they can get together and agree that they will never repeat this kind of mistake again. Because recently, when Mr. Kurantin, the Secretary General, the Director General of SSNIT, was removed and replaced by our friend who is there now, how much did they pay him? Should we have wasted that money in paying him so much money and is gone, and then only to bring in another person who has created this kind of situation for us? So I think that we should not be wasting SSNIT money. We are misusing the money to the detriment for the people who are contributors. So this should be a bitter lesson to not only government for today, but from January 7, 2025, whoever becomes the president of this nation should take lessons from this and not to repeat this kind of mistakes again.
So that's Austin Game. He's a former Minister of State and a Labour analyst speaking to us there on the position that has been espoused by one of the Labour unions asking for a dissolution of the board of SSNIT and also the dismissal of the management members. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. The news, though, is that organised labour has called off the strike, and so they're going back to the workspaces effective tomorrow. And they've also said that there's a 1-month period by which they're going to have some negotiations and discussions with SSNIT and all the stakeholders involved on what is happening to assets and investments of SSNIT and how solutions can be found to the problems that have been raised, particularly the problems with the 4 hotels that were up for sale. 6 hotels, actually. There's 4 that were taken. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. When we come back, we'll go to Parliament, where there's a new legislative instrument that has been laid, which would prevent members of Parliament and other persons from observing speed limits, which means Yankonkwa.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel where I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
One of the best decisions you can possibly make at the start of your day is to tune in to the City Breakfast Show. Insightful, intriguing, intelligent, and informative. The City Breakfast Show offers an attractive alternative to the noisy mishmash of morning radio. Tune in to the City Breakfast Show for passionate discussions on issues that matter and enjoy interviews where duty bearers and decision makers have their feet held to the fire. The City Breakfast Show airs from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday to Friday, only on 97.3 Citi FM.
Are you a builder, contractor, or homeowner with a passion for quality? Look no further. At Yale, we pride ourselves in trusted security and quality hardware for doors. Visit our showroom on 11th Lane Street in Accra, Ghana, and discover the world of Yale door hardware handles and locks. At Yale, we understand your need for security and the desire for elegance. Our products not only protect your loved ones, but also add a touch of sophistication to your home or business. Whether you're renovating your space or crafting a new masterpiece, Yale is your trusted partner with a history of 180 years of innovation. Come on down to Yale today. Experience the perfect blend of security and style with Yale. Yale, where security meets style.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Let's do some more stories. Cuts International, a consumer protection organization, has urged government to withdraw the legislative instrument on cement pricing. Despite opposition from several quarters, the trade minister laid the LI in Parliament on July 2 and expected to mature after 21 sitting days. However, according to Cuts International, the Minister of Trade and Industry, Katie Hammond, must withdraw the instrument and focus on the competition and antitrust law. Here are excerpts of the statement.
According to Cuts International, there are lots of businesses and trade associations engaging in restrictive trade and anti-competitive conduct that tend to harm consumers and other businesses. Cuts believes that a competition law and fair trade law is the surest bet to addressing this problem. The law, when passed, will promote fair competition, protect consumers, ensure a level playing field for businesses, and foster innovation and economic efficiency. It will also prevent the formation of monopolies and the abuse of dominant market positions, ensuring that no single entity can control a market to the detriment of competitors and consumers. Since 2006, Ghana has a draft National Competition and Fair Trade Practices Bill and the Consumer Protection Bill with the Ministry of Trade and Industry. It is through a functional competition regime that will safeguard the free market against the tyranny of unfair trading practices and to bring efficiency to the market.
Those were excerpts of a statement from Cuts International read by my colleague Charles Owusukunu.
And you're talking about an LI. And talking about LIs, there's one again before Parliament which is generating some level of controversy. Is an LI on road traffic. It's actually to amend the road traffic regulations, and it's exempting vehicles from speed limit. I'm just looking at the excerpt. It says motor vehicles being used in the performance of official functions by head of state, vice president, speaker of parliament, chief justice, ministers of state, justices of the Supreme Court, other recognized government security agencies, members of parliament, fire service, ambulance service, police service, armed forces, prison service. All these persons, if they jump the red light, it's okay. And if they drive beyond the speed limit in an area, it's okay, according to this LI that has been put before the House. Let's go to the House and speak to the Honorable Paul Chum Berima. He is Member of Parliament for Doma East and a member of the Roads and Transport Committee. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Thank you, Omar. I'm not a member of the Roads and Transport Committee.
Oh, apologies for that. Are you a member of any committee that is working on this LI?
Unfortunately, I'm a member in the House.
Okay, that's fine. Let me just get this. This LI, who laid it? The Ministry of Transport, or which organization, or is it the Road Safety Commission or the police? Who laid it?
I think clearly it will emanate from the Ministry of Transport.
Okay.
And then we go through the committee, then we go through the legislation and the subsidiary committee before coming to Parliament. So I'm sure it has passed through 2 hands in terms of the committee before getting to the plenary.
Okay. For those who do not understand, can you clarify for us what allies do?
Oh, LI is an how do you call it, legal instrument. That is legislative instrument. That is taken out from the major rules, or maybe if the government has set major how do you call it, rules or laws. So those laws, the various departments now extract the legal framework that can use to guide them in their work. So maybe there is a major rule that covers the road and transport or the road traffic. However, the ministry will then generate and pick out of those bigger laws what laws that can use to regulate certain aspects of each by a sector of the transport. So the airline is one of them. This airline is one of them that the ministry thinks it can help guide the MCCDs in their job, in their daily work, or the police in their daily work. And that is what LI does.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the necessity of this LI. Why is it necessary?
I mean, one, it is to help the police in managing traffic. Clearly, that is what it means.
No, I mean the exemptions. Why are they necessary? Why are we introducing exemptions for the persons I've listed, including MPs?
Okay, so probably we cannot agree on the head of state. We can agree on the vice president. We can agree on the speaker. We can agree on the chief justice. Ministers of state can agree on them. We can agree on the justices. And at a certain point, we should also be able to agree on members of parliament. However, I mean, for me, I have a little bit of challenge with this airline. I am a member of the committee, but clearly, my challenge with this airline is a speed limit that some people are taking out of speed. Because if you are driving the siren, clearly, you should be able to have a good way that you can go at the consistency. I mean, driving the siren doesn't mean you should go at speed. Consistency, that nothing blocks your way, so that you can get where you want to get in time. So if you have a siren, why should you be given a speed limit that you should be able to jump and you go over a speed limit? That is a problem that I think we need to look at and treat it. Clearly, it's something that must be legal. I mean, the police, yes, they know how to manage, but maybe certain people, we need to look at the siren because, for me, the siren, it is important for a member of parliament, but sometimes 265 people, are we all going to be driving in traffic or that? No, it might not. It's really going to inconvenience people. So, if it does be managed, if it does be managed well, I think what we should look at is how are the police going to ensure that these people applying these LI or this exemption in a way that it will not inconvenience the average journey. That must be also laid out.
So currently, I think the president uses a motorcade, right? The vice president uses a motorcade, and the speaker of parliament uses a motorcade. I don't know if the chief justice uses a motorcade. Do you know?
She does.
Okay, good. So that's a top, and that's a top 4. Now,
yes, and some of the ministers of state also use motorcade, are allowed to use motorcade.
Okay, so that a motorbike would be in the lead, and then their vehicle will follow. Okay,
exactly.
Now the addition would be justices of the Supreme Court, not the chief justice. So all the justices of the Supreme Court. There's a vague one here that says other recognized government security agencies. I don't know what that would stand for.
Exactly. That is where I have the issue. That's what I'm saying. So clearly, if it is not properly managed, then the chaos that we're going to have on our roads are going to be mad.
Okay, so we already have ambulance, prisons, armed forces, all of them have been doing, but the new one would be members of parliament. What's your personal view? Would you want to drive without respect to speed limits?
I drive without siren. I just work little by 6 time at work if I want to avoid traffic. And I think it should be cut across. That's what I'm saying. Maybe, just maybe, You may be at a place that they may need you urgently. But it must be properly coordinated. Because sometimes I've experienced there's some 4x4s coming and squeezing. And sometimes when they are trying to squeeze, it's not exciting because it's not exciting in the sense that you don't know where to go. And you want to find your way through, which is not. So if you're going to do that, fine, that is okay. I mean, obviously, it is an arm of a government, and it's the parliament that passes the law. But we must find ways and means to regulate in such a way that it will not inconvenience the average Ghanaian who also use the road. That is my personal perception. And my personal thinking about it.
So if he came to...
we should.
Go ahead.
That we should. Because, Omar, the truth of the matter is that there are times that you may be needed in parliament urgently. I mean, there has been a time that a member of parliament was needed urgently in the house. The person was a minister. So the person must drive from wherever he was coming from. And he was involved in an accident. So clearly, if the person had a problem, maybe a motorbike leading, he wouldn't have been involved in that accident. So yes, we may need it at a point. That one we cannot take it out. But it must be properly coordinated. 275 people, we must coordinate it because if it is not properly coordinated, it will cause chaos on our road. But if we talk about in terms of the necessity, yes, we may need it. At a certain time, you may definitely need it. I'm lucky to have met you 3 times in Parliament. And you know sometimes how certain bills are passed and need people to come in to support or even to object for the bill not to go through and all that. So you may need it, but it must be properly coordinated just for us to ensure that these people do not inconvenience the average Ghanaian who also use the road.
If it came to it, you wouldn't vote for this LI to go through?
No, if it comes to it, that's what I'm saying. If they are able to give us that oxy, it will be properly coordinated. Because if you are using a siren and you have a motorcade, it's properly coordinated. So the motor will do it nicely so you can maneuver your way through and all that. But if you don't have that, and you're going to, and some of the drivers are not experienced to be able to maneuver their way, they may scratch cars and all that. So we must be able to have a way that it will be properly coordinated. That is all. For neither, I will always say that as a member of parliament, we need it. And I'm very convinced that parliament's decision to put it in there is based on what we've seen over the years, where some members of parliament, as I just said, may have been involved in accidents due to the fact that they were near in the house. And they were maybe obstructed on the way by cars and all other things. So we may need it. But we should be able to say that it must be fun. That's my personal view. It must be coordinated properly.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So that's the Honorable Paul Chumberima, is NPP member.